Hello, everyone. Welcome to GBMT 1009, the Geopolitics of Trade and Development. I'm your course director, Blake Stewart. You can call me Blake. So without further ado, let's get things started for today. So there's two sections of this course which will run asynchronously. We will only use the official time of 6 to 9 p.m. on Mondays when we have tests. This is designed so you have more flexibility. You can watch the lectures when you get a free moment, but you will be required to watch the lecture every week. The PowerPoints will also be posted on Blackboard, as well as the readings, as well as all of your assignments, which we will go over. So today we're going to keep it very simple. There's no assignments this week. All I want you to do is to introduce yourself on the discussion board on Blackboard and watch this video so you have a kind of a brief understanding of what we plan to do in this course and what we hope to accomplish. So that's your only task for this week, is to watch this video and to introduce yourself on the discussion board. Just briefly, tell me what interests you about this subject matter, perhaps what you've previously studied, and just a little brief introduction to yourself. You can let me know if you have a pet, anything you'd like, but just kind of broad strokes why you're interested in this course and what brought you here. So I'm really glad you joined this course, and this is quite different than many of the other courses that you might have taken in the GBMT program, in that it's not directly applicable skills that you'll be learning, such as accounting, etc. And we hope that the topics, however, we hope that the topics of this class, specifically the issues of understanding trade and globalization, will enhance your competitive advantage in all your future pursuits. Understanding the risks of an ever-changing global environment is a very useful skill to have, and it hopefully this will help you enhance your understanding of global affairs, how to understand media, how to understand political bias. So there's lots of things that we'll be discussing in this class, and hopefully it will give you a competitive edge in your future careers. The course is ever-changing, so there's no textbook for this class. All the readings will be posted on Blackboard, and all the course materials, including videos, will be posted on Blackboard, which you'll be responsible to look over each week and discuss in your assignments. So you have to keep up to date on the Blackboard. But the course, because global events change so drastically from year to year, it's hard, any textbook that we would assign would become out of date by the time it was published, because developments are changing so rapidly. When you think of things like how quickly the COVID-19 pandemic became a global pandemic, and the current crisis, for instance, in Ukraine and Russia, how quickly this developed into kinetic warfare and very intense conflict. So these things are hard to predict what will take place in the future. So we have to keep up to date week by week, and I'll assign readings based on events of each week. Perhaps not only events from each week that took place that week, but relevant events or more current events in the last year or so. Okay, so there'll be more on this next week, but globalization, trade, and development are all keys to understanding the 21st century global economy. And luckily, there's no shortage of risks and crises that we can discuss. Whether it is, like I mentioned before, the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the global pandemic, rising tensions in the Asia-Pacific region, such as with China and Taiwan, for instance, issues facing the European Union and the issues of integration within the European Union, as well as issues facing Canada in the international environment. So geopolitics encompasses a wide variety of players and states involved in the making of world order. And we'll discuss how these actors and players help transform the landscape of global trade and development. A key subject of this course will be power and how power is used and wielded in international affairs. And we'll discuss the various ways power is used, including direct military force and direct forms of coercion, as well as more indirect forms of power, which are sometimes referred to as soft power, that include influence, persuasion, etc. So there's a wide range of topics that we'll be discussing in this class. Okay, so now just on to who I am. My name is Blake Stewart. I'm a PhD candidate in the Department of Politics at York University. I've taught at York University for 6 years, as well as worked as a research assistant under the distinguished research professor Stephen Gill in the Department of Political Science at York University, where I've conducted research on the European Union, the effects of globalization. But my research focus and my scholarship is more directly related to the role of populism and the rise of the far right in liberal democratic states, which usually includes North America and the European Union, or sometimes referred to as the transatlantic bloc. So my areas of specialization, like I mentioned, are international relations, the European Union, US politics, comparative politics, um, and just a little bit about myself. I also have a senior Russian blue cat named Dali, who will likely make some appearances over Zoom because she can't keep to herself and she'll often invade my space, especially if I'm speaking with you. So you can look forward to brief appearances from Dali. And here's a little picture of Dali. Okay. So ways to contact me. I can be reached by email at blakely.stewart@georgiancollege.ca. Email is the preferred method of contact. I don't post my phone number, etc., just because it'd be a lot to manage. So please contact me through email if you have any concerns directly related to the course, and make sure you type it out very carefully because there is a lot there at blakely.stewart. My office hours, you can see the time and link on the syllabus. I've attached the WebEx link. These office hours are completely optional. They will start this Monday from, from 8 to 9 p.m. But you're not missing any course content if you do not attend my office hours. This time is used if there's need for any clarification for an assignment, for example. And you can use this time to discuss with me any concerns you have about a mark or an assignment, or if you need help in any way and directly related to the course, but you absolutely do not need to attend if you have no questions. You will not be missing any course content. I will not be discussing any new content during this time, so don't worry about that. You do not need to attend, so it is not mandatory you attend my office hours. You can drop in if you'd like, if you have any questions or concerns, but it is absolutely not mandatory, and you are not missing any course content if you are not attending this. Just keep that in mind, and we can meet at other times if this specific allotted time does not work for you for any reason. You can absolutely contact me and we can find another time that works. But I think it should work because that 3 hours, you will not have any other classes during that 3 hours because that 3 hours is allotted specifically for this class. So I'd like to keep it if you would like to meet in my office hours. I can usually do any time between I can do any time between 6 and 9. I'd rather do it from 8 to 9 p.m. But if you want to meet at any time between 6 and 9, just email me and I'll make sure that we're both there. So otherwise, all you have to do is keep up to date with the Blackboard, and you should be fine. So like I mentioned, this course is fully online and asynchronous. So we do have the designated course time of Mondays to 6 to 9 p.m., but this will only be used for tests and office hours. So you do not, like I mentioned, you do not need to come if you do not have any questions. Everything else will be done through Blackboard. And all assignments will not be emailed, but they'll rather be turned into me through Turnitin on Blackboard. So the assignments will be on Blackboard, the readings will be on Blackboard, all the course materials will be on Blackboard. So please read the syllabus over. Like I mentioned, there's no textbook, but there will be readings each week. Read the college's policies on academic honesty. You have to be very careful not to plagiarize, as the Blackboard has a plagiarism program where it analyzes the assignments for me and detects plagiarism. So to avoid plagiarism, you must cite all the information you use correctly using the APA format. These are all individual assignments, so you cannot work collaboratively, especially on tests. And you must attach the signed honesty statement to all assignments. So anytime you take someone else's words, you must put quotations around them and cite it. You can't just copy and paste from any source. And if you put out someone else's ideas in your own words, you also must cite the source of these ideas. Not doing so is a serious academic offense, and there's been some issues from what I've heard. This is my first semester teaching at Georgian College, but I've heard that there's been some instances of academic dishonesty, and I thought it'd be best if we could spare each other both the all of us the awkwardness of having some sort of discussion about academic dishonesty, and just save yourself some time and just carefully look over the assignments and make sure you're properly sourcing all your materials. As I said, there's no textbook, and all the readings and videos that are necessary for the course will be available on Blackboard. So you shouldn't have any issue citing the materials related to the course, because they will all be up there for you. There are two, okay, moving on here. There are two tests, test 1 and test 2. They'll both be online and multiple choice, and you'll have 4 5% accountability tasks that will also be laid out in the syllabus for when they're due. And you'll have a media assignment, which is very interesting, where you'll look at the same issue through a variety of different media sources and analyze the different lenses in which a particular issue is looked at. You will also have a G20 country profile, where you will write a report about a particular country and how they respond to a particular issue or crisis facing that country. So in the weeks that you have tests, there's no other assignments. So just keep that in mind as well. And so here's the weekly workflow. There's a lecture on Blackboard. There'll be a PowerPoint of the lecture on Blackboard. There'll be readings on Blackboard if required. Any additional material will be on Blackboard. And assignments, instructions will be on Blackboard. So you do not have to look at any other source of information. It'll all be laid out there for you. So you have to make sure that you check the Blackboard frequently. So again, just because I'm supposed to drill this really hard, you do not want plagiarism charges. They're easily avoidable. We use APA style. So if you're not familiar with APA, you must learn these guidelines for citing. If you do not use APA, it will affect your grade. So this includes using in-text citations and a bibliography for all assignments, which is alphabetized. There's no late assignments without documented emergency or medical reason. I'm usually a little more flexible with late assignments in my own previous teaching experience, but this is not a decision that I get to make. This is a college policy, and I have no say over it. So you have to make sure that all assignments are handed in on time each week, or for the different assignments, that the accountability tasks, you'll have to make sure that they're in on time, as well as the tests will be done in class, and the other larger assignments, you just have to make sure that all your work is submitted on time. Just keep that in mind, that I wish I could be more flexible, but it's just not within my power to be more flexible, I'm afraid. So let me know about you on the Blackboard, what interests you, what you hope to achieve in this course. And like I mentioned, what course you may have taken previously that relates to this subject, or perhaps a particular issue in global affairs that particularly interests you, so I can help tailor this course to, if there is a particular theme or an interest that is across the board, I can kind of tailor some of the readings to that. But other than that, we're going to talk about a variety of very exciting and relevant issues, from wars to global pandemics to global economic crises, power, globalization. So there's lots of large themes here that I think we can address, and we can discuss them alongside more current developments in global affairs. So I think this is a very exciting class, and I think that it'll be a very enriching experience for everyone. So if there's any further questions you have after watching this video, feel free to drop into my office hours. You might have to wait a moment or two, keep that in mind, because if more than one student drops in at the same time, there might be a brief waiting period, which in some cases if there's enough people, I might schedule different time frames for everyone to come in. So if you drop in and I'm speaking with someone else, you might have to wait about 10 or 15 minutes. And I'll tell you, Bob, for instance, hi, Bob, I'm speaking with Jeanette right now, but if you could come back in maybe 15 minutes, and I'll I'll make sure that I end my discussion with the other student and make sure that we have time to have a one-on-one discussion. So I look forward to exploring this exciting topic with all of you. And yeah, that's all I have for you today. So just keep up to date on the Blackboard, and we'll dive into these exciting topics next week when we have actual readings and assignments that we can discuss. So take care, and thank you all for listening to this lecture. Bye.